Hello everybody and welcome back to Expert Examiner IELTS. My name is Glyn and in this video we're going to do some speaking test feedback with Saife. I hope that's how you pronounce your name, with Saife's speaking test. Anyway, let's check it out. Let's get into it. Good afternoon. My name is Glyn. Would you please tell me your full name?
My full name is Muhammad Saife Rahman, but you can address me as Saife.
Okay, thank you, Saife. Now, in this first part of the test, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. Do you work or do you study?
Currently, I'm a student studying his bachelor from the Department of English.
Currently, I'm a student studying his bachelor. Is that what I heard?
Currently, I'm a student studying his bachelor from the
Currently, I'm a student studying his bachelor. Not quite sure what that means.
Department of English, and I'm pursuing that degree from a reputed college of my local.
Okay, so I'm pursuing that degree. Sounds very academic. At a reputed college. Again, sounds academic. Remember, this is a speaking test, and so the appropriate style, the appropriate register, the appropriate formality for this should be neutral, but neutral informal is probably better than neutral formal. So the Saife's language is just a little bit formal, and it suggests to me maybe a little bit of pre-rehearsed vocab, pursuing my degree or at a reputed university. Sounds like it's rehearsed a little bit.
Local area.
In the local area. It just sounds like one of those lines of text that candidates often memorize. So I'm not saying that for sure he's memorized it, and certainly reputed is a good word, and pursuing my degree is not a bad collocation, but I have some doubts. And why did you decide to study English?
Because of my previous study background,
Because of my previous study background. My previous studying background maybe, but okay.
I was in school and college, I was studying humanities, and which refers me to choose English in my.
Which refers me to choose. Again, I want to re-listen to that because it's kind of strange.
I was in school and college, I was studying humanities, and which refers me to choose.
I was studying humanities, which refers me to choose. I don't know what that means. It sounds like the candidate is trying maybe to use impressive language, but I don't know what it means. It refers me to choose.
English in my bestest life.
In my which life? Bestest life? What?
English in my bestest life.
Not quite sure what he's saying there. And what do you like about your studies?
I have to be honest with you at this moment.
Love that. I have to be honest with you. It's a great way to start. Pronunciation seems okay, a little bit fast.
Because I haven't started studying it yet.
Okay, so a little bit of confusion. He told me he was a student studying English, but then when I asked what he likes, he says he hasn't started studying it yet, there is a problem with coherence there. So, it's okay if you haven't started studying yet. In the question, are you a student or do you work? Mention it there, right? I'm planning to study soon, but I haven't started my studies yet.
As you can know, Bangladesh is going through a lot as the various problems that we're facing at this moment. That's why my college isn't open. I haven't started studying that subject yet, so I can't tell you which is my favorite. But in future, I hope I can make sure that you know what my favorite part of the subject is.
Okay, so good word order there. What my favorite part of the subject is. That's good grammar. The explanation is fairly clear, so all good. Okay, and what would you like to do after you finish your studies?
I'm preferring to do a job.
I am preferring to do a job. So prefer is a stative verb in English. Some of our verbs are actions like run, eat, dance, swim. Some of our verbs are stative like, love, believe, want, know. And prefer is one of those stative verbs. We don't usually use stative verbs in the continuous. So I prefer or I would prefer, but not I am preferring.
Sounds kind of homeopathy. Sound kind of old.
Whoa. Sounds kind of what?
I'm preferring to do a job. It sounds kind of homeopathy.
It sounds kind of homeopathy count. That's what I hear. Finish your studies.
I'm preferring to do a job. It sounds kind of homeopathy. I'm sound kind of old.
It sounds kind of homeopath discount and old. That's what I hear, and that isn't English for me. I don't know what that is.
Because nowadays people are choosing to be an entrepreneur, but I'm preferring a job.
Entrepreneur. So just a wrong word stress there. Not entrepreneur, but entrepreneur. Stress on the last syllable. Da 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 da. Entrepreneur.
That makes a permanent salary of my that gives me a permanent money.
Again, I have to listen to that again. I won't do this through the whole test, but what is this?
A job that makes a permanent salary of my that gives me a
That makes permanent salary job. Again?
entrepreneur, but I'm preferring a job that makes a permanent salary of my that gives me a permanent money after the month. That's
Gives me permanent money after the month, but what is permanent money? I don't know.
so I'm preferring job, and I'm kind of doing a BCS, a Bangladesh Cadets Servant, which prefer government job. So I'm preferring that.
Again, no idea. I could listen to it. I could slow it down. I could listen to it and interpret and try to understand what he's saying. But obviously, in the real test, examiner won't be able to do that. And so when I approach this, I have to think, what do I understand the first turn? Not the second or third or fourth time of listening, but what do I understand the first time? And there was a lot of that I just didn't get. I understood he would prefer to get a job, not to be an entrepreneur, and some kind of scheme in Bangladesh, maybe in the public sector. Now I'd like to talk to you about weekends. What do you usually do at the weekend? So I'm not going to replay anything more now. If I don't understand something that the candidate says, I will just put it down to, okay, too fast or too incomprehensible.
It depends on, sir. It depends on my.
It depends, sir. Also, I don't like it when people call me sir. Everyone calls me sir. I really, really, really dislike it. But okay, for some people it can be a sign of respect. But not it depends on, sir. It depends. Not it depends on. It depends on something. But if we don't add that prepositional object, just it depends. It depends.
Friends availability, because if I'm alone in the weekends, I more prefer sleeping, eating, and using my mobile or scrolling on Facebook or talking to my parents. But if my friends are available in the weekends, then I most preferably go to various places of our local area or going to a tour with them in various places of my country.
So it's difficult for me to judge the vocab and grammar here because the coherence is lost. Working hard, I can understand some things that like spending time with friends. Sometimes he scrolls through Facebook or something like that. But the speed of speech is so fast that I can't quite pick out things. I heard local area, that's a nice collocation. But it's very difficult for me to judge the vocab and the grammar because I just have no idea what the candidate is saying. And what's your favourite part of the weekend?
Especially spending time with my friends might be the special moment of the weekend.
Okay, so I got the spending time with my friend. I got special moment of the weekend, but in the middle, nothing.
Because my friends and I, we are not meeting each other in a week. So the weekend is the only time.
Okay, my friends and I don't meet each other, are not meeting. So sometimes, I have mentioned it before, generally learners of English acquire present continuous before they acquire present simple. And so sometimes candidates and students feel better, more comfortable using present continuous for everything. Present continuous means I am doing, I am eating, I am meeting, I am swimming, I am dancing. Present simple, I run, I dance, I swim. So not we are meeting once a week or twice a week, but we meet twice a week. So wrong tense there.
When we're getting opportunity to meet each other. So
when we get the opportunity. So again, candidate overuses present continuous. This has been the third or fourth time now.
That makes a sense by getting that the favorite part of the weekend for me.
No idea. Now I want to talk to you about rain. Do you like rain?
Yes, I do like rain. It's because.
Yes, I do like rain. So adding the auxiliary in present simple for emphasis, that's fine. That's natural here. Yes, I do like rain. Good.
My country is more like a summer country, like a hot.
Bit of reformulation. He mentioned my country twice. He mentioned summer, I think, twice.
Country, yes. So most of the time in my country, overall 6 months, there are summer and the weather is hot. And I personally don't like the hot. So when it's rain, it makes me
I don't like the hot. Maybe that's okay. Maybe I don't like the heat is better.
feel comfortable inside, and making inside comfortable means I am all okay and I can do any kind of work. That also makes my mentality okay. So that's why I'm choosing. That's why I would say rain is.
Again, make something about making himself comfortable, and then after that, I got nothing.
I use it.
And do you think the rain can affect somebody? Okay, so I'm really paying attention now. I'm really focusing and trying to understand the candidate because I need to be able to evaluate vocabulary and grammar. I need to be able to pick out some things. His mood.
Yes, it can, because I'm saying that my mood can be changed by rain if it's not
What I'm saying, again, present continuous, should use present simple.
rain. Then I'm feeling sad as they are hot in the outside, as they're hot in the outsides, and I have to meet friends, I have to do work. But if it's the rain's time, then I don't need to go to school. I can stay in my home. I can talk with my friends and talk with other people that I love. It's saying my
Okay, I can talk with, that's a normal collocation.
home, and my mom can cook various kind of good foods for me. So it actually depends. My rains makes me happy than in a normal day.
Actual depends instead of actually depends. But again, it's difficult to pick out the exact grammar and vocab. So to judge it, I need to know what he's saying. So I can pick out bits of it. And do you use an umbrella if it's raining?
I prefer not to use an umbrella in
Good. I prefer not to use an umbrella, so we get a nice negative infinitive there.
those kind of things, because I try to enjoy rain. I try to enjoy rain, and if I'm taking an umbrella with me when I'm going outside, I can't enjoy the rain as my
Maybe continuous is okay. I still prefer present simple if I take an umbrella when it's raining.
mother will, as my mother have told me to use an umbrella
My mother has told me, not have told me, but okay. That's just the first mistake we've had with that third person S.
when it's raining, but I want to enjoy rain. But if I'm not
Okay, we get this enjoy rain maybe 3 times now.
taking an umbrella, I can give an excuse to my mother that I had.
Cool, give an excuse to my mother. That's a very nice natural collocation, nice set group of group of words.
I didn't have the umbrella, that's why I am wet at the moment. So
I'm wet or I'm wet? Wet.
yes, I do. I am not likely to take an umbrella when I'm going outside.
Okay, thank you. I'm not likely to take an umbrella. I don't know if that's the right usage of likely. I'm not likely to. It could be used. Now, in this next part of the... So what do we have for part 1? Well, I'm a little bit overwhelmed by the speed of the speech. Partially coherent, I would say. I kind of get the first... When I ask a question, the first part I understand, the middle part I lose, and the end part I kind of understand again. Certainly the candidate has some good pronunciation features, including connected speech. Sometimes the speed of the speech means that the intonation is just lost a little, but there is some evidence of intonation there, not sustained over all of the turns. Fluency and coherence, so we can say that he can speak at length. He often needs to repeat language, and he often needs to go off on a tangent or mention the same thing many times, like if I'm taking an umbrella, enjoy the rain, enjoy the rain, enjoy the rain. So he's speaking around the subject a lot in order to speak at length. Because he's speaking so quickly, of course, that loses some points with coherence because I just don't know what he's saying. In terms of vocab, his vocab I think is noticeably strong. I think there are good natural bits of language in there. The problem I have as an examiner here is picking out enough of that vocab. So what I'm hoping is that in part 2 he will slow down. But I remember this test, and if anything, in part 2 he speeds up, which isn't great. So let's take a look at the test. Describe a place that is not visited by many tourists. So the theme is about tourism, visitors. It's present time, so no obvious like narrative tenses or grammar connected to narrative tenses or anything like that. In terms of vocab, okay, tourism and visitors. Explain why you think it's interesting. I hope I don't hear picturesque scenery or breathtaking views, because I hear that every day. But really, because the critical feature here is fluency and coherence, and that also affects pronunciation, the thing that I will focus on is the speed of speech, but I will not be pausing and replaying to try to understand what he's saying. Starts now. So that's the preparation time. I will let you know when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
Bangladesh is a place of natural beauty. That means we do have a lot of place which is very attractive for tourists.
Adding that do, we do have a lot of place, but he should say places, so singular plural. But I think that's his first mistake, or at least it's the first mistake I've noticed with singular plural. So one mistake with it is okay. Again, he added that do. Let's listen to that do again.
Bangladesh is a place of natural beauty. That means we do have a lot of place.
We do have a lot of place. So adding the do, I don't know if that's useful here. Earlier when he added the do, I thought, yeah, that's a good usage of it, but we do have a lot of place. I don't know if that's really necessary to add that do. It feels a little bit inappropriate.
Which is very attractive for tourists.
Places which are very attractive.
Is attractive for tourists and they are preferring to go to places.
Again, they are preferring. We want they prefer. We don't use prefer in the continuous.
So among all the places, I would go to Sylhet. Like last year, me along with my two friends.
Okay, so we got to Sylhet. Sylhet is the place. Cool.
Friends Shubho and Saniyat, we made a tour to Sylhet, one of the most beautiful places in Bangladesh, and it is.
Just notice instead of one, it sounds like on of the most. On of the most. Just listen.
To Sylhet, one of the most beautiful places.
One of the most. So one of the most beautiful places
in Bangladesh, and it is situated in the corner of Bangladesh.
Again, he's swallowing endings here. So it's situated. It's situated. It sounds like he's saying it's situate. So I have to take points off for grammar there because it's just not. It could be a pronunciation thing, but it sounds like a grammar mistake. It sounds like he's saying it's situate.
It's just beside the border of India. So last.
Okay, so Sylhet near the border with India. Fine.
When I visited, when I went to the Sylhet, at first what I do, I just book a room and then go into the various.
Okay, there's a lot of reformulation here and this rapid fire reformulation. Just listen again.
So last time when I visited, when I went to the Sylhet,
I don't know if he's talking about present time or past time because he uses last time and then he starts using present verbs. Just listen again.
So last time when I visited,
last time when I visited, so that's past time.
Went to the Sylhet.
When I going, that's no tense. I going isn't a tense.
At first what I do, I just book a room and then go.
First what I do, I just book a room. So now we're back to present tense. So I don't know if he's talking about the past or if he's talking about present.
Then going to then going to the various places of Sylhet, which are more beautiful, especially the Sadapathar. But the one thing that I was surprised that there were not that much people,
There were not that many people, not much people. Many, not many for countable nouns, not many things, not many places, not many people, not much for uncountable nouns, not much time, not much space, not much rain.
At the place, because Sylhet is one of the most famous places in Bangladesh, but people are not getting their interest to go to Sylhet.
But people are not getting their interest to go to Sylhet. I don't know what this means. They are not getting their interest. They're not interested, perhaps. But again, candidate doesn't like using present simple. It's noticeable that every opportunity to avoid present simple, he tries using present continuous.
Then I've talked with some like the people who are working at that place and also the native inhabitants of the place.
Just want to replay that. Just listen again closely.
The people who are working at that place and also the native inhabitants of the place.
No idea.
Why people are not visiting why people are not visiting Sylhet as it is a
Why don't people visit? Again, present simple is better.
Beautiful attraction for all of the people, all of the countries are.
Excuse me.
Also the people who are coming from abroad. So at that moment,
people who are coming from abroad, not abroad. So the rapid pronunciation, the fast pronunciation is also causing some, not just a lack of coherence, but it's also creating huge problems in pronunciation, intonation.
They have told me that the transportation problem is sort of the main cause why people are not coming to Sylhet as Sylhet is situated in the corner of Bangladesh. That means it makes a lot of hassle to come to Sylhet, and especially the thing are very costly in Sylhet. As I was looking for a room or accommodation for me at that moment, and they were charging.
I'm overwhelmed. I can focus, and if I'm really switched on, I can kind of find the main idea, but I don't want to do this as an examiner. I want to relax as an examiner, not just as an examiner, as a target listener, as any target listener would. They don't, people, when you're speaking to them, they don't want to have to work super hard to understand what you're saying. You have to slow down.
Charging 5,000 BDT Bangladeshi Taka, which was not very higher comparing to the other places of Bangladesh, like Cox's Bazar, one of the most longest sea beach in the world, and they are not charging that much. They're charging less compared to the they're charging in Sylhet. So that means one of the reason and the accommodation, the transportation.
The task is to describe a place that is not visited by many tourists. What the place is, Sylhet, what people can see there, no idea. Why only very few people visit there? Maybe the transport is bad and the price of accommodation is expensive. So we kind of get some main ideas, but that's like that information, the relevant information, is in a sea of incomprehensible information.
Problem, and the last problem is people are not liking it.
People are not liking, again, we don't use present continuous here. People don't like it, but don't like it, I don't know, because I can't keep up.
Because when I was visiting Sylhet, there.
I'll tell you what I hear, right? I'll repeat after you. Or let me slow this down, actually. Let's see if it's understandable if we play it at half the speed.
People are not liking it because when I was visiting Sylhet,
when I was were visiting, when I am I was were visit. What was this?
Because when I was visiting.
When I am is was were visiting.
Sylhet
nera Dortmund ne. What? One more time.
When I was visiting Sylhet there were not.
It isn't English. Sorry. And I know probably, maybe you feel that this feedback is a little bit offensive, or that it's a little bit rude, or that I'm making fun of you. I promise this isn't for comedy, right? I'm not saying like, ha 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 ha, this is so fast, I don't understand it, let's play it slow and let's humiliate the candidate. I'm really not trying to do that at all. I want to say that the candidate knows English superbly well, but the problem is when you speak too quickly, it becomes an incomprehensible mess. And by slowing it down, I can help you hear kind of what I hear. And I don't hear words, right? I just don't hear words. Just one more time. Let's go even 0. Oh, sorry about that. Let's just go back. Well, let's go full speed again.
Accommodation, the transportation problem, and the last problem is people are not liking it because when I was visiting Sylhet, there were not that much people in my Facebook ID, like Google application. They have visited Sylhet, as I've seen them posted video photos for various places.
No idea. Okay, thank you.
So
something about Facebook video, something about that. Yeah. So feedback on this, the coherence and cohesion here is, fluency and coherence. You could say that fluency is okay because he's speaking fluently without pauses. Pausing is just one aspect of fluency, and remember, if you pause too much, this is a problem with fluency. But also, if you don't pause enough, that's also a problem with fluency. We chunk words appropriately. So if we have a sentence like, I went to the shop yesterday to buy some bread. Da 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 da. We chunk those languages. We put We chunk those words, we put those words into groups, and then we pause between those little chunks of language, right? That helps with the pronunciation, but it also is a part of fluency, and we're just losing it. And so that fluency, because of the lack of hesitation, the lack of pauses, that creates a problem. But most strikingly, with coherence, I would say that I understand no more than 50% of what the candidate says. And that creates a huge problem. It's also difficult then for me to find evidence of vocab and evidence of good grammar. Luckily, in part one, there was some evidence of it, and I can still pick out some bits of grammar and vocab, so I hope we can still score reasonably well there. But I certainly want to find more evidence. So I think for fluency and coherence, I've made my decision on the band score pretty much. Maybe things will change in part three. For pronunciation, I think I've done that too. But I really, now in part three, I want to listen to grammar and vocab. Can I find enough positive evidence of good grammar and vocab to award any higher scores there? So you've been talking about a place that isn't visited by many tourists, and I'm not going to mention the speed of speech anymore. No more comments on that, tourists. Now I'd like to talk to you about tourist attractions. When you hear the word tourist attraction, what comes to mind?
Can you repeat that question, please?
When you hear the words tourist attractions, so he uses the right language for a request. This is functional language. Can you do something, please? Cool, good. What kind of things do you think of?
The first thing that I feel or I think in my mind is be relax, because
Got nothing from that?
is going to a tourist attraction. Tourist attraction means you have run away from all your jobs, your college or classes. You are going to a place where you can feel relaxed. The second,
You can feel relax, I heard, but not relaxed. So I didn't get anything from that.
is the beauty that you can explore.
Okay, but we do get first, second, which is some cohesion. The beauty which you can explore.
Because the
That's
tourist
good.
attraction
To explore beauty, I think that collocation works. I like it.
place means beauty, the natural beauty of my country. My country is
Natural beauty, I heard. That's a collocation.
my country is situated in a place where I can see or explore very beautiful activity, beautiful
Okay, but we get the repetition of that vocab.
activities, and I can see beautiful things. So that also makes a thing. But the three, what can I just say, is to spend time with my loved ones, because going
Okay, spend time with my loved ones. That's a very natural collocation.
to a tourist attraction place means I'm with my family or my friends. That means I'm giving those guys time,
Again, present continuous, where maybe he should use present simple. I spend.
and they're also happy that I'm giving time with them and going to a beautiful place of my country. There's the things when I comes to my mind when it comes to tourist attraction.
Comes to mind is better than comes to my mind. Just comes to mind. And what makes a tourist attraction famous?
I believe the natural beauty.
Okay, we get natural beauty now, I think like 4 times in the last 20 seconds.
Mentioned. It's the main thing of every.
But he does say, as I've already mentioned. I don't think he gets the grammar quite right, does he? Let's hear.
I believe the natural beauty. Just I mentioned. It's the main.
Just I mention. As I just mentioned, or as I have just mentioned. So wrong tense again.
Main thing of every tourist attraction, because you can I can compare it with every what can I say, fantasy kingdom, amusement park of my country. People are not eagerly going to the amusement parks compared to what they're going to tourist attraction. The only reason is because of the
amusement parks. I think I got that. Eagerly, I got people are not eagerly doing something. I don't know. Maybe eagerly is okay.
Natural beauty. People can all get the activities. People can get the food they want, but all they want inside from
people can get the food they want. That's a reduced relative clause. Okay.
From their heart is to wish to explore beauty, to witness the beauty of our country, to witness to meet the various people from our country, from various culture. That might be one of the reasons why people do that.
Let's talk about that. Might be one of the reasons why people do that. That's a nice complex structure. Tourism in cities now. What negative effects can a lot of tourism have on a city?
So in my opinion, I don't think they have that much negative effect on cities, as tourists are very far away from cities. But
He says tourist attractions are very far away from cities, but that's not true. The biggest tourist attractions in the world are often cities, right? Like Paris, for example. Paris is a huge tourist attraction. London, huge tourist attraction, or at least the tourist attractions in Paris and in London. You know, there are huge tourist attractions in the city. So I don't know what he means when he says, like, tourist attractions are far away from the cities, because that's not true. There are many, many tourist attractions in cities.
One thing they're taking time of people, as people are going to be able to have jobs, people have to run a family, and some
I don't know what he means when he says tourism is taking away time from people. I don't know what that means, because people have jobs and a family.
sometimes if a government officer is going on a tour, that means there are lots of people who's waiting for him to come. So that makes a lot of hassle to the general people. So
Makes a lot of hassle. I like the word hassle, but again, I don't know. I don't know what the theme, what the main idea is here.
in those cases, they take the time. Tourists, they take the time away, as people wants to go to the place, then come have to relax in a day in at their home. That is one thing. And
So the question is, what problems does too much tourism have on a city, right? And if you think about the most straightforward ideas here, well, one thing is overcrowding, right? When too many people visit a city, this leads to overcrowding. Sometimes it can lead to things becoming more expensive. If you have too many tourists in a city, people want to stay there, and hotel prices become expensive. Sometimes it can lead to rubbish because, you know, tourists, they might, if you have too many tourists and they eat and drink, they might throw their rubbish on the floor. So, you know, lots of problems like this. There could be, you know, some culture clashes. For example, if you have too many tourists who don't respect the local culture, this can create people who are like annoyed at those tourists. So those are some common problems of tourism. I don't know what he means that it takes time from people because you need to run a family. I don't know.
other thing is the money, because nowadays people are charging a lot compared to where they stood in the past. So there's also they're having like getting
But I don't know who he's talking about with charging the money. If he's talking about like hotels charging a lot of money, but mention that.
a bad effect on the people standing in the cities. So I believe that's the two things that affect.
And do you think foreign tourists should pay more than locals to visit some tourist sites?
I believe they should not, because it's kind of sound like racism. That doesn't mean that if they come from foreign, I
Sounds like cool.
believe they should be paid less, as they have come from.
Should be pay less? Should pay less. So, again, very basic grammar. It's strange because sometimes with word order and complex sentences, he gets it really good. Like, that's one of the main reasons why it happens. Good grammar. We get some good reduced relative clauses, cleft sentences, things like that. So, we do get a really nice range of structures. But I think the accuracy of his grammar will really break that score and it will really give him that ceiling. So, I don't know.
Another country to visit our beautiful country, that makes us proud that we are getting famous, where we're becoming famous in another part of the world. So we should make sure they do not get pay extra charge compared to
We should make sure that we do something. That's good.
what we are charging, and we should make something free for them, as they're our guests. And Bangladesh is a place who love to hospital. They want to provide hospital.
Just listen to this part again.
We should make something free for them, as they're our guests, and Bangladesh is a place who love
Just listen to this part again.
to hospital. They want to provide hospitality to the people. They want to provide hospitality to the people, no matter where they've come from. So it's my opinion they should not charge that much more than the local tourist.
And how can a city attract more tourists?
I believe by doing some marketing things. Natural beauty is a thing
Cool. By doing some marketing things. Cool. Hopefully, we'll get some examples of those type of marketing things.
that will surely attract the tourists, but also the facilities. Just I mentioned the transportation problem. That
Facilities.
is one of the reasons why people are not going to see it. If the
One of the reasons. So again, that's singular plural.
transportation system is okay, then people will surely go to tourist attraction more than they used to in the past.
Cool. And it's his natural grammar, more than they used to in the past, is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful language. They will surely go there more than they used to in the past. This is great language. Just hope, just wish that he could just slow down the speech, have more organized thinking, and keep your ideas simple and present them in an easy to understand way. And the candidate could get a really, really high score because his knowledge of English in his head is amazing. I imagine with the reading and the listening, he will get 8 or 9 in the reading and the listening, but not in the speaking.
Accommodation problem. Most of the people, including me, we don't go to the place which are not providing good.
The places which don't provide. So I think there are a lot of fossilized mistakes, and that one with the present continuous, the overuse of it is very noticeable.
Accommodation things, and if they're providing accommodation, people will surely good accommodation. People will surely go to visit those places. So I believe these are the most important reason why people are not. People should make those improvements so that people should go to visit those.
Again,
Important reason why people are not. People should make those improvements so that people should go to visit those.
Again,
people should make those improvements so that people should go to visit those tourist attractions.
Okay, thank you. That is the end of the test. All right, so a very, very difficult one to mark, I'm sure, because on the face of it, right, it seems very impressive. This ability to speak a second language at this pace, this is not easy to do. And so you might think, wow, look how fast this candidate is speaking. I can't speak anywhere near as quickly as this candidate. Therefore, this candidate has amazing English. But no, the candidate does have an amazing knowledge of English, but in terms of speaking performance, according to the IELTS criteria, it isn't going to go very well. So let's have a look at some marks. Fluency and coherence. I'm going to be brutal here, and I'm going to say 4. I don't need to mention connectives and discourse markers and organizational patterns and things like this. I don't need to mention any of that. The critical problem, you have to slow down. You have to slow down, and you have to organize your thoughts better. It is not only a case of candidate is speaking too quickly. The candidate repeats the same ideas many, 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 many times, right? So let's say we have a simple question like, what do you like doing in your free time? Simple answer. In my free time, I like doing some different things. Firstly, I'm a fan of reading, so I have a Kindle and I try to read a book a month. But on top of that, I also consider myself to be a sporty person. So I go to the gym, at least 3 times a week, and I also go swimming from time to time. I kind of enjoy swimming. Right, that's a simple, straightforward idea. But Saife's response to this would be something like this. What do you like doing in your free time? Oh, reading, definitely. I think reading, because reading is very good and reading is interesting for me. And when I read, I pick up a lot of new information. Reading is very good, and I read lots of different types of books. I read like literature and I read fiction, but reading is good, and I read and I like reading. I open the books and I read, and it's like organize the thoughts better. Breathe, relax, think of a straightforward idea, and present the idea in a straightforward way. And you have to slow down. You have to slow down. You have to organize your thoughts better. And that's all I'm going to say for fluency and coherence. Lexical resource, there is enough for a 7. And certainly more. There's potential for more. So the candidate clearly shows a wide range of vocabulary and some very natural and idiomatic expressions. Or maybe not expressions, idiomatic language. It is noticeable. However, there is often a lot of repetition with these words. And additionally, the speed of your speech makes it difficult to pick out all of your vocab. Think again, if you slow down, if I could hear the vocab that the candidate was using, I would have more evidence to perhaps award a higher mark. If it was simply a test of like how many words does the candidate know, he would probably score an 8 or a 9. Probably, because he probably knows a lot of words, a lot of terms, a lot of collocations. It's just the evidence in the test isn't there. Grammatical range and accuracy, I'm between 5 and 6 here, and I think maybe I can award the 6. Maybe. So, there are huge problems that could pull you down. There are huge problems with the overuse of the continuous aspect. The candidate just wants to use continuous for everything. I'm doing, I'm preferring, I'm liking, I'm loving. With believe, he used the present simple. People are getting interested, people are not getting interested instead of people are not interested. So there is a tendency, this candidate really wants to use present continuous as often as he can. You overuse it, so you have to be careful there. There are some other very basic mistakes, like with singular and plural nouns. Not as many as we've seen in some previous tests, but they are noticeable. However, your range of grammar and accuracy with complex structures is impressive. So I think if you can clear up those basic mistakes, if you can stop overusing this continuous, I expect that you can get a 7 or an 8. My problem or my fear is that this using the continuous is so deep in your brain now that it just feels so natural for you to use the continuous over and over and over and over again. And I think you'll find it very difficult to unlearn this, to retrain yourself to relearn present simple. So yeah, potentially a problem. Pronunciation, again, I'm going to be brutal and award the 4. Again, I'm not going to mention things like connected speech, the higher stuff. I'm simply going to say your pronunciation, your speed of speech is too fast. This negatively affects intonation and sentence stress and chunking, the way you group words, because it just comes out like a machine gun. Everything comes out like a machine gun. We don't get any natural pauses. I'm not going to write any more pronunciation. You just speak too quickly and it creates huge problems. So a strange thing to award. Now, 4764. Okay, time to do some mathematics. Just bear with me 1 second. 4466 would be 5. 4467. 5.25. 4466 would be a 5. So 4467 would be a 5.25. So overall, we get 5.25, which of course rounds down to 5.0. Now, this is intermediate. It's the middle of intermediate. Is this candidate an intermediate English user? No. The candidate is much higher than this. The candidate is an advanced English user in general. It's clear that the candidate knows a lot, but remember, at IELTS we are not judging the candidate's English knowledge. We are judging, in the speaking part, we are judging their speaking performance. In the writing part, we are judging their writing performance. So for me, this score is 5.0, which feels very low. It feels like it's unfair, but I think the candidate can put this right just by slowing down their speech a little bit, breathing, organizing their thoughts better. I fully expect the candidate to get at least 6.5, maybe 7.0. I still think even if the candidate slows down his speech, I still think he will speak too quickly, and I still think this will negatively affect his pronunciation and fluency and coherence. But maybe if he tries to slow down, it won't affect it too much. So I expect the candidate to get 6.5 in the real test, but the candidate certainly has the potential to get 8.0, maybe 7.5, but I expect only 6.5 in the real test. Yeah, but a very, very interesting test to think about and to analyze. Yeah, but I'll leave it there for now. So please do let me know. Maybe you disagree. Sometimes it can be really tough to give candidates marks like this. But I hope for the candidate himself this is very, very useful, so he can watch himself speaking. He can listen to just how fast he's speaking, and he can see the problems that it causes me as an examiner. Yeah, please do leave a like and subscribe and all of that good stuff. I am doing free mock speaking tests at the moment, and I'm doing writing checks for IELTS. So if you have if you want to get in touch with me to arrange a writing check or to have a speaking test, please do get in touch with me. Information on how to contact me is given below. I do have a lot of requests at the moment, and so many people write to me with a request, and then 2 hours later they write another message, hello sir, and then another message, hello sir, and then sir, where are you? Sir, please, my IELTS test is coming soon. Please be patient. I am one person and I'm trying to help as many different people as possible, but I simply can't do 30 tests a day, and I can't spend all of my time replying to every message. But if you're interested, get in touch. Please be patient, and I will try to get back to as many people as I can. But I'll leave it there for now. Thank you very much, and have a good day. Bye bye.